Chapter 9. Close the Gate. Catching that first small cockroach, negative thought, can be challenging, especially if it blends into the carpet. Learning what signs to look out for will give you the opportunity to prevent that cockroach from inviting its friends and family to move in. Gateway thoughts are what we call these little, apparently harmless negative thoughts that you don't normally notice or pay attention to. They're habitual thoughts that seem harmless, but usually lead to more and more dangerous thoughts. I don't know what to do, or I just can't do this, or why do I always, or I should have. Gateway thoughts may be little, and you may usually ignore them, but one, like cockroaches, will inevitably lead to more. You can gain control over gateway thoughts, lowering the frequency and intensity of becoming emotionally triggered using zero tolerance. Zero tolerance means becoming aware of and having zero tolerance for any negative thoughts. It means addressing those thoughts before they lead to that slippery slope. Before that one small cockroach brings its friends and family into your home. It's about getting into the habit of closing that gate as soon as you notice it's open, before all the other negative thoughts can rush through too, with all the stress chemicals that come with them. This is not about ignoring negative thoughts and feelings. It's about answering them, acknowledging them, and addressing them in the moment before they lead to more. What to do with gateway thoughts? 1. Practice becoming aware of your own gateway thoughts. We'll list some examples shortly. 2. When you notice a gateway thought, catch yourself immediately and address it. It's within your control to turn it around, even though it appears to be true in the moment. 3. Play a new childhood memory of your parents reassuring you.
I believe that gateway thoughts are linked to implicit memory and the beliefs that we have ended up creating about ourselves and our place in the world. I also believe that they are about habit and creating that normal at-home feeling or emotional state. As I initially began working on finding and changing implicit childhood memories, I discovered the theme or pattern of being a victim. I have memories from early on knowing that our family had a long history of painful failures, loss, and plenty of examples of being denied opportunities and being taken advantage of by those in a more powerful position. As a child, I remember spending time at my grandmother's house. I used to stop on my way home from school and spend time just sitting with her, listening to her stories. I didn't recognize at the time, of course, but I was showing up for my daily dose of learning who I was within this particular family, how this family saw itself in the larger world, and how all of that felt. My grandmother would tell me stories of her family moving from central Illinois to South Dakota to try their hand at homesteading, how they had lost a little brother to illness and had eventually lost the farm after 3 years of bad weather. I heard about various illnesses that she had dealt with over the years, how she had had her dreams cut short by the loss of her mother at an early age and had been left the responsibility of raising her younger sister. Being at my grandmother's house had a particular feel to it, and I see now I came to associate it with my at-home feeling of who I was, how the world worked, and my place within it. From the stories I heard on nearly a daily basis during a very impressionable time in my life, I learned that I had come from a long line of unfortunate people who were at the mercy of circumstance, the weather, bad luck, people with more power and money, and physical illness. We were victims. And because my father had also been raised in this environment and belief system, my own family home took on a similar feeling. This feeling was home. Being a victim felt like home. I feel that gateway thoughts are there to help us return to that at-home feeling when we encounter something new or are feeling unsure in the moment. Even though this feeling may not necessarily be a positive one, it's what we know and what our unconscious mind has linked to safety. So as I began to change my own childhood memories and the stories of my ancestral family, a process we'll discuss later, I found that certain gateway thoughts would emerge automatically. I had been living in this home for so long that everything was geared to feel this way. As I began to make changes, however, my life began to feel different. And this, of course, clashed with that old at-home feeling. It's like moving to a new house or apartment. It takes a little while of living there before it feels like home. Becoming aware of gateway thoughts and using zero tolerance helps to establish the new at-home feeling. So I began to call out any thought or feeling of victimhood as soon as I noticed it, sometimes audibly, and remind myself, that's the old story. You're no longer a victim. And I would immediately replay new childhood memories and stories of my amazing family that felt like the new at-home of empowerment.
Examples of gateway thoughts. I should have. Why didn't I? I don't know what to do. Why do they always? How am I supposed to? What will they think? Recap. Gateway thoughts are habitual negative thoughts that appear to be harmless, but will always be followed by more negative thoughts, which will eventually trigger stress chemicals. The longer you allow yourself to go along with these negative thoughts, the more difficult it can be to find your way back to feeling good again. It's not always easy to notice these thoughts, since they're habitual. We're so used to them that we are often completely unaware of them. That's where rumble strips come in.